Welcome back. All right, I want to talk about the Euros, and I want to apologize that the Stanley Cup playoffs crossed over. Plus, the start time for the games made it difficult for me to watch a lot of the round robin games. But I did watch parts of a couple of games, and I watched entire games as well. Spain won in the quarters against Germany 2-1 to qualify for the semifinal to face off against France. Spain, of course, won this in 1964, 2008, and 2012. And if I had to pick one of the four that I think probably wins it, I'd probably go with Spain, even though, yeah, I'm wearing Belgium. It's the one international jersey that I have for soccer. I have Belgium because when Adidas had a sale, I think this was like $40. I was like, I can wear Belgium. I usually cheer for Germany, and I was like, well, the colors are the same. So, I mean, hey, but yeah, so Germany's out against Spain. It feels like Germany, who were like the world power years back, it feels like they've dropped off a bit. France won in the quarters against Portugal on penalties. I'm not a huge fan of penalty shots, but I understand it in soccer. The one thing, and again, I know that's football for Euros, but the one thing that struck me, and again, it's something I noticed in games throughout, is that you'll have a game where neither team wants to make a mistake, and so neither team's attacking. It is not dissimilar to what I complain about with hockey too, when both teams sit back and you're like, "Oh, come on, no, somebody take a chance." But at any rate, France won that one in penalties, so Cristiano Ronaldo does not win another Euro this year. France won it in 1984 and 2000. 2000 was the year where I really truly enjoyed the Euro. I remember that was where I really watched it because I'd been watching the World Cup and I found out Euro pretty much just as good as the World Cup. Some could argue that it's better, that there are countries that qualify for the World Cup that would not qualify for Euro. And I cannot make an argument that they're not right. There's definitely countries that get into the World Cup that would not make it into the Euro tournament. So the other semifinal is set, and it feels like whoever wins this semifinal probably loses to Spain or France in the final. That's how it looks to me. England, they win in the quarters against Switzerland. That's on penalties as well. England a little bit fortunate in that they didn't play their best game. In fact, they haven't had a great tournament, but they're in the semifinal. So the good news is, if you want to be a positive, energetic person regarding England and their chances to win Euro for the first time, they were a runner-up last time out in 2020. The good news is that England hasn't played their best game yet, and they're in the semifinal. But the bad news is they really haven't looked great. The Swiss probably should have won that game today, but they didn't. Netherlands just winning. Game just finished between them and Turkey. They win 2-1. Absolutely thrilling. Netherlands scores back-to-back goals. They were down 1-0 at the half, and I thought, Turkey can bring this out. And then the last 15 minutes of that game, far more exciting than either of these games, I thought. And that's how it should be. I love it when teams are just going for it. And obviously, with Turkey having that 1-0 lead at the half, Netherlands just wasn't having it. Now, Netherlands won in 1988. And so they've won a tournament before, but it does feel like whoever wins between England and Netherlands probably loses against Spain or France. These are countries that are really tough to beat, but I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see England win their first ever Euro. Again, they were runner-up the last time out, so they got unfinished business. But it would be fun to see Netherlands win it too. They won it in '88. They haven't been in a final since. And it's been apparently a really well-watched Euro tournament as well. ITV set a record with England versus Slovakia drawing 18.4 million viewers. And that article, written before we're going to find out what the ratings were for England against Switzerland, and of course England against Netherlands, a lot of people are going to be watching that. So you're going to have people who obviously are going to root for England to win, and you're going to have people waiting to see, is England going to lose? When do they blow it? Which has kind of been the storyline with England when it comes to international tournaments, whether it's World Cup or Euro, for a long time. So we'll see what happens here. I'd be interested to know who you think ends up winning Euro. Again, I think it's going to be Spain. I really do. I think it's going to be Spain. I also want to give a shout out to Canada for winning last night. They're in the semifinals of the Copa America tournament. And so that's great. Now they move on and they play against Argentina. I do not expect them to beat Argentina, but that's not the point. Canada in soccer, it's not that long ago that it looked pretty hopeless. The funding wasn't there. The players weren't there. It was disastrous. And this team now, this team Canada, looks like they're dangerous. Like they're going to be one of those countries that if you take them lightly, they can beat you. They're not going to be a power. They're not going to challenge these four countries, but they're not going to be a pushover either. And as a Canadian soccer fan, that's really all I could ask for. And so hopefully we see Canada at more World Cups after the next one, which of course is being held in North America. And the Copa American tournament is a good warm up. And Canada clearly quite thrilled with how things went. In fact, there was a huge party in Vancouver. And yeah, everybody really celebrated when that win took place. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, I haven't done a soccer video in forever. But I really enjoy watching the sport. I love watching the sport. It's just because, you know, your best soccer is going to be from Europe. It's not dissimilar to how hockey fans in Europe feel about the National Hockey League. That's part of the reason why I try my best on the hockey channel to cater a little bit to the European crowd at times, because I know that the games are on too late for them to watch. And I understand that because very often games in Europe are just on too early for me to be up and watching and completely 100% invested in, especially when it's like 5 in the morning my time. So I totally understand European fans looking at some of the start times for NHL games and saying, I can't watch that. I get it. But let me know your thoughts. Who do you think wins Euro this year? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.